Hello everybody and welcome to today's adventure. We're off upriver from the last, downriver, sorry, from the last couple of videos that we've had where we found some really great bottles and some other interesting and unusual finds. So we've got about a 20-minute walk from here. It's a bit less accessible than other places that we've been to, but it's a really lovely evening. We've had pretty great weather today. It's been really hot here and we've got, you know, a few hours ahead of us. So I'll catch you up when we're a bit closer. We're nearly there, but I thought I'd just catch you up on the lovely view that we've got here. The countryside is absolutely beautiful in this weather. Look at it. Great weather and a really lovely location. So off we go and I'll bring you back when we're at the water. We made it. So here we are in the water. It's a little bit sandy just where we are at the moment. So we're going to head down a little bit further and just sort of watch as we go. See if we can find anything, and so we'll catch you up and let you know what starts coming out. See you in a second. So we've started hunting and we've started having a few finds already. So this is the first glass bottle find that we've had, and I've never seen one like it before actually. I think it's brown glass and it's sort of ribbed, so that must be ribbed for a reason, I'm guessing. I think it's blocked up with sand, but I will have a look later. So yeah, I don't know, I might have to do a bit of research and see what that was. I guess it was maybe something that shouldn't be drinking, and that was why it was ribbed, so that you didn't sort of drink it by accident. But hopefully that means that the bottles that we've been finding further up river have travelled, and fingers crossed we're going to have some good finds today. There's a nice shallow clear bit of water here, and I can already see some interesting sort of pottery looking pieces, so I'm going to bring you with me while we investigate. There's a tiny piece there, look. Oh, it's an odd thing to pull out. Oh, look what I found! Just lying there on the water. Isn't that magnificent? A clay pipe bowl. That's great, isn't it? I love to find those. There's a bit of discoloration there, but I guess that's just the way it goes, isn't it? Excellent. So I'm really pleased with that, and I can see a couple of other sort of interesting bits and bobs, so we'll see what they are. It's odd, isn't it? It's got a little hole in it, look. Is it designed to have that in it? Who knows? Oh, look at that. That's lovely, isn't it? I love it when you pull it out and it's got a really beautiful pattern on the other side, and I absolutely love that piece. Really beautiful colours. This is rock. Let's see what else we can have to tread carefully then so we don't stand on anything. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Look at that tooth. Find lots and lots and lots of those. There are lots of shells here as well, so it looks like really interesting stuff by colour, but usually it's just a shell. Tiny piece there. So I'm going to have a sort of slightly closer look along, see what else I can find, and I'll bring you back and let you know. So there's a few more things that I found. Another sort of pipe bowl there, and a segment of one, unfortunately broken, but it's a good sign. And then a tiny little bit of pottery. Look, isn't that lovely? What is it? A speck of blue. And just look at the water here. It's clear and it's still most of the time. And honestly, I could just spend hours just sort of sifting through for the tiny little bits of colour and pottery. And it's so hard to see everything. You just want to kind of look at everything really, but of course you miss stuff. So let's just have a little potter around and see what we can find. That's nice, isn't it? Another tiny little piece of blue. Be nice to find some bigger pieces, so fingers crossed for those. Look at that! Well, it's a key. Isn't that bizarre? I don't think I've ever found a key on a key ring before. What does it say on there? It says Sober Grad 98, make it to your future. Well, well, That's odd, isn't it? I'm quite pleased with that, actually. I think that's just a rock, isn't it? But it's a very pretty looking one. Look at that tiny little piece of glazed pottery. There's lots of really kind of small miniature pieces here. What's this? That's definitely got a shape to it, hasn't it? It's just a rock. So much of the pottery there. Oh look, just one letter left. B. I wonder what that was. Looks like a little jug of something. So clear, I can see a little fish actually swimming past, which is quite unusual. So I'm going to go and drop off those few little things, and I'll bring you back for a roundup of the best bits. So I've had a couple of nice sort of pottery piece finds. Another broken clay pipe bowl there, which is great. And the two nice pieces of glazed pottery. Look at those lovely patterns on those, aren't they great? And this is interesting. It's got a really nice sort of blue colour to it. And quite an interesting shape. I wonder what it was from. Must have been the top of a lid or something, do you think? But in the water that was glinting a beautiful blue at me. So yeah, I like that. I'm going to head down a bit further on now, so I'll bring you with me and we'll see what else we can pull out. Here's a nice piece of pottery. Look, it's got a really lovely pattern on it. It's a sort of green-blue colour, and it looks like fish scales, doesn't it? Actually, the shape probably doesn't help. But I might take that and clean it up and just see if I can get some colour back out on it. And I do see something interesting down here, so I will bring you with me, and then I'm going to head back up, because otherwise it gets a bit too muddy. Oh, I'm stopping for this. Hang on. I think that is a sort of top of a handle or something, isn't it? Okay, here's a bottle. See if it's anything interesting. Oh, look, a bit broken at the top. That's a shame, isn't it? It's got that really interesting sort of texture top. I think did we find one similar to that last time we were here, actually? And we said that we thought it might have been sort of Lucasade or something like that. It's a shame that's broken, but we'll keep looking for complete ones. I might just have a sort of scout around the edge and see if there are any other bottles before I go back to my pottery. So leave me to that and I'll bring you back shortly. Okay, so I'm just going to sort of splodge up this way, back to where I was before, and give this side the once over. Lots of little bits and pieces like this. Some shells there. Is that anything interesting? Small piece of pottery, but no pattern or anything. So it gets a bit murky over this side, doesn't it? Let's go back this way. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Oh look, little tiny hint of a pattern. That's what I like to see sticking out the water at me. Shame it's just such a small piece. Isn't that nice? Bit of pipe stem. Another small piece that looks like it was the top of a handle or something. Looks sort of quite yellow there actually, doesn't it? I'm not sure if that's the camera or not. It looks so yellow when I look at it by eye. I'm taking my time here because there's so much to see. Lots of little tiny bits that are just worth picking up to see if they're anything interesting. another piece of pipe stem, and I can see one more here as well. So there's lots of those, and we found a few, you've seen already, a few broken bowls. And there's yet another piece, look. Have to go careful where I step then. Don't want to break anything exciting. Oh look, I'm going to divert from where I'm looking there for a second, so I've just spotted this. Isn't this intriguing? Looking out of the edge there. I can see it's broken. Look. Wonder what that was. Wonder how much more of it there is. I should be wearing gloves, I know. Look at that. Isn't that nice? That would have been a nice little pot, wouldn't it? So I'm going to just go back, have another sort of look around, bit of a close look, and I'll see what else I can find, and I'll catch you up shortly. I've been avoiding this piece for ages because I could just see the bottom of it and I thought it was another shell. I've just pulled it out to check and look. It's the remnants of a lovely old plate or bowl. Let me wash him off. And isn't that just a lovely pattern? That would have been great, wouldn't it? So I'm glad I checked. Welcome back. I'm just going to catch you up quickly because I've been pottering up here just from sort of that bend the other side of the bank there for a very long time actually, sort of taking my time and just having a really close look. It's quite shallow all along here, gets deeper out that way, and I've just found loads and loads of little bits of chips of pottery, clay pipe stems, a couple of bowls. I think you've seen most of those, and I'm having a really lovely time. I think Ryan's been finding some bottles a bit further behind me, so we'll go and catch up with him in a second, but I'm just enjoying my little sort of splodge and potter along really, so I'll bring you along for the next bit and see if there's anything else interesting. I haven't found anything historically significant or, you know, major, but it's quite nice just to find, yeah, look, lots of little tiny bits like that, which I will take home, most of them, because that's just what I do. And I do have every intention of making something beautiful and arty out of it. I just haven't quite got round to deciding what it will be yet and when I'll go about it, so I will, and as soon as I do I'll update you on it if you'd be interested in seeing it. You can hear the birds in the background, water flowing. It's still pretty balmy evening here actually, it's really quite warm, which is most unusual for an English summer. It's very nice, I'm enjoying it. What else can we see? Oh look, that's nice, isn't it? Oh, can't see it. Look, it looks like a house there in the picture. Look, I can see another piece just in there. Can you see it? Can I get to it? Nice, isn't it? Lovely colour on that. Still really bright and vivid after all these years. Oh, I think that's the snow. This is when I'm not squeamish, isn't it? It's probably not the hobby for someone that is, I guess. So I think I'm coming back to the bit that I've been to before actually. Let's just have a little check around here. Make sure I haven't missed anything. Oh, that looks like broken. Oh, it's a bone. Get that out of the way. Definitely just as well I'm not squeamish the amount of bones we find. Okay, so let me just go and catch up with Ryan, see what he's found, and I'll bring you back and give you a bit of a catch up with him. So here's an interesting find that Ryan's just found under a tree over there. This is rubber, and it's not something that I recognise. It looks, I don't know, is it something sort of sporting or something? I don't know. It says special there, you can see. And then around the top it's got some numbers, so 2 point something, I can't see it. And then is that JSB? And then 2 3/8, that looks like to me. So what do you think? Any ideas what that was? Let me know. We very often find old shoes on our travels, some with sort of old heel plates and various bits of repair and stuff, and this is just the heel of one. But look at that. Isn't that magnificent? So that just tells such a story, doesn't it, of this shoe and what a life it's had. And I just love to think about who's worn that and who's done that to it. It's great, isn't it? I really like that. So there are a few bottles coming out from under an old tree there. It's a bit murky, so I can't really sort of take the camera with me. But I found this beer bottle, and Ryan and I are not sure about the age of it, actually. Let's empty out a little bit more. So it has got some writing on it. It says around here, Bira Superior, and then D'Italia, and then it's got a date there, 1945 it looks like, 46. So what do you think? Is the bottle itself old? Hopefully it's a sign that there's more sort of good bottles, so we'll keep looking and we'll let you know what else we can find. Hello, so I've just had a catch up, caught back up with Ryan, and he's been having a bit of a haul actually on the old bottle front. I've only found a couple, but let's just see what he's found. So this looks like an old, almost a sort of milk of magnesia bottle or something, doesn't it? I think we've seen a couple of those before. Actually, quite like those. I think they're a really sweet shape, quite a nice size. Oh, this is a bit broken, that's a shame, isn't it? Chef sauce. I always really like it when it's got the name on it. I don't know what chef sauce was, but I might have a quick look when I get home just out of interest. Probably won't keep that one because it's a bit bust at the top. This is a nice little one. It's got a name on it. Oh, it's from Devizes, so it's fairly local. Woodworth. Woodworth Limited, Devizes. Actually, I'm not... do you know, I think it is still made there, actually. Or has been until sort of fairly recently. I'll have to have a look. But the size of that one tells me that it's probably a bit older than usual. You don't sort of tend to get them in that size anymore, do you, in shape? This one I love. This is a really neat find. I'm not sure how old it is, but it's got like a little screw cap look. And it's just, I don't know, there's just something funny about that one, isn't there? Almost like you'd hide it and take it with you. It's got some lettering on the bottom. Oh, look. Fat 69. What does that mean? Definitely one that I'm going to do some research on, actually, because I'm intrigued by that one. But I'm really going to enjoy adding that one to my collection. I think that's really pretty. A couple of old jars. Oh, look, there's another one of these. There's two of those. It's good, isn't it? Another jar there. Can't see what that was from. We found quite a lot of sort of glass jar where our sort of previous video, which is a bit further up river. Here's another one. This says sterilised milk. Contents 1 pint. Look at that, isn't that great? Don't remember actually ever seeing a pint of milk in a bottle that shape, but obviously did happen. And then there's this one which I showed you earlier, which I really like, so one of my favourites. So all round not too bad in terms of bottle finds. Nothing sort of historically significant as we found sort of previously here, but some really nice finds all the same that will definitely go to our collection. We're going to keep going and hopefully we'll find some more stuff. So we quite often come across sort of bits of rubbish that have been dumped in rivers. Although this area actually isn't too bad, it's sort of fairly untouched. But there is an old tyre here. In fact, it's only half of one. And it's not sort of particularly interesting until you look a bit closer. And you can see there it is a Goodyear. It says triple rib. But just look at the sort of shape of it and the tread and everything. It's definitely got some age to it, hasn't it? Looks like it came off sort of an old truck or something. So I thought I'd just show you that in case there's any sort of old motoring enthusiasts out there. Maybe you can even age it for us. We're not going to take it home though, you'll be pleased to hear. Here's another old shoe that we've come across. You can see the heel there, lots of repairs. And Ryan's also found a bit of an old leather belt, look. Here's another small glass bottle find, very good condition. A bit similar to some of the others that we found actually, but no name or marks on it, which is a bit of a shame. Trying to see that on the bottom. Is it a date or is it a code? It looks like it says 1929 to me. Is it? Maybe it just says 192 with a dot. Who knows? I'll take it home anyway and have a look, see what I can find out. Look, here's an old ceramic jar. We found these before, and last time we were better rubber, we found sort of quite a huge one actually. Can't see any marks on the bottom of this one. I think they've sort of worn off. I assume it was probably a Hartley's, but I can't see the marks there. But you know what, I might take it home anyway, because it's complete, and we don't often find them complete. We usually find bits of them. I might take it home and clean it up and add it to my collection. Look, we've just found this, a tiny buckle. Isn't that lovely? So it may have been a belt buckle or perhaps a shoe buckle, I'm not sure. We've only found one of these before actually, and I really like watching it when others find them. They're nice, aren't they? They've got some age to them and a bit of history as well. We obviously don't use them really anymore, do we? So isn't that nice? I'm pleased with that little find. Deep in the murky depths of some of the deeper bits out the other side of the bank, Ryan's found himself a spade, look. It's a bit of age to it. It's actually quite an old one, look. But I guess it was thrown away, maybe from a sort of nearby farm or something. What an odd thing to find. Let me just catch you up on a few more of my sort of pottery finds. A nice piece of blue there. I love the colour of that one. This one's just got like the hint look of a faded old blue pattern on it. Maybe it's a willow pattern, so I might try and take that one home, clean it up a little bit. Another piece of this which looks like it's got a sort of yellow glaze on it, look, so I found one of those similar. These bits are sort of bottoms of teacups or saucers, that sort of thing. This is nice, it's got a really interesting design on the side, look. I'm sure that would have been something really lovely in its time. And then another smaller piece here with a bit of a texture on the outside. So I might not keep all of the pieces, and I will take some photos of all the bits of pottery that I found, because I found lots of tiny sort of interesting chips today, and I'm going to keep the nicest ones, so I'll let you know what they are. Here's a lovely clay pipe bowl that I've just found on the sort of sandy bit, look, and it's the first one that I've ever found that's got a picture on the side. So you can just see there the little picture. It's got sort of 3 clubs almost, I'm not sure. I'm sure it's got a name to it. It almost looks like a sort of coat of arms or something. Let me know if you can recognise it. But unfortunately, look, broken. Found quite a lot of broken sort of clay pipe bowls and loads of stem here, and I do like to find them anyway actually, because I think these are really interesting. These are one of my favourite things to find, so I keep them all. No complete ones here, which is a shame. You can probably see now that the light is starting to fade, and we've got a bit of a trek back, so we're going to head off now. I'll do you a bit of a roundup with some photos of everything that I found. If you haven't seen my previous videos, do have a look. We found some pretty impressive things further upriver and in other locations, and we'll be back out soon to try and find some more. I hope you've enjoyed this adventure, and I'll see you next time. And as ever, if you want to come over to my Facebook channel, it's Lucy's Larking. I've got a Facebook page, and you can also find me on Twitter at Lucy Larking. See you next time. Thanks for watching. The sun has just set, and isn't it beautiful? Really fitting for the end of our adventure today. Hi everyone, we're back home now. I'll just do you a quick roundup of some of the best finds from our lark today. We had a really lovely location, great hot summer's evening, and we were there for hours actually, so it's pretty late now, so hopefully you'll forgive me for not having cleaned these up properly. I've just given them sort of a bit of a once over really. But here are the best bottles that we've kept and brought back with us. This is the really sweet little one that I showed you. It's actually got a little logo there, look. And on the back it says VAT 69. And from what I understand, VAT 69 is a whisky from about the sort of 50s to 70s. I think it sort of stopped in the 70s, but I've only just sort of done a brief bit of research. Perhaps you'll recognise the name of that, some of you. This is the Wadworth's bottle from Devisers, which I really like. This is my personal favourite, this sort of brown ribbed bottle. I'd love to know what was in that. I wish it had a sort of mark on it or something. This is a really nice milk bottle. I showed you that when we were there sort of on the mud, and it says on the back sterilised milk, contents 1 pint. I don't remember milk coming in sort of pint bottles like that. Maybe it's sort of a bit before my time, I'm not sure. And on here it's got a logo, and it says, it's actually quite a nice logo, look, it's got the UK there, and it says CRS, and I think CRS is sort of Dorset and Somerset based. excuse me, milk company. So we think that's probably between 40s and 70s, but let me know what you think. Maybe some of you will have come across that before. The nice jar, we don't always keep these. I didn't keep some of the other ones, but I quite like the square ones, so I've kept that. And then this jar here, it hasn't got anything on the bottom, this clay jar, it's just a sort of plain one. I guess these were mass produced, were they, at some point, and used by various different companies. I really like this key. This is obviously an old car key, and the key ring on it that says the sort of sober grad, make it to your future, is obviously a sort of early you know, anti sort of drink driving campaign sort of slogan, I guess. So I'm pretty pleased with that. And look at that key. I guess you know, you don't really see car keys like that anymore, do you? If that is indeed what it is, you know, maybe that isn't the key. And then there's this, which is our sort of mystery item. So this is rubber. It could be a seal of some sort. It's got that special along the bottom, and then the numbers along the top. So I'm really intrigued to find out what that is. Do let me know if you recognise it. I have actually been a little bit more ruthless in my last few trips on the pottery that I bring home, although you might not believe it with what you can see in front of you. But these are just some of my favourite chips. I love to find the little coloured pieces, and I find such joy in just picking them out of the river after all of the years that they've been there that I feel too sad really to leave them behind. So I'll bring them home and I'll make something with them. There's a cat there. There's a cat in every video now. So these are just my favourite little pieces. It's a nice little blue handle. It's got a really nice colour to it. This is really nice as well. Nice design, isn't it? Sort of brown and peach colour. I wish that there was more of this. You saw me dig this. This was sort of buried in, and I had a little a look to see if there was any more of it that was broken up, but there wasn't. But I do really enjoy that. And then some of these pieces that I've started to find more of lately, the sort of brown and yellow pieces. So I'm going to try and date those, do a bit of sort of research into what they are. And I will get a little bit better at trying to sort of date and identify my pottery. But my personal favourite of today is this tiny piece, look. A little tiny chip with just the remnants of that little pattern on it. So I really like that. And then finally for today, here's my collection of clay pipes that we found on this adventure. Absolutely love to find these, one of my favourite things to uncover. So loads and loads of pipe stems, various different sort of lengths, and some of them more narrow than others, look. And I like to find these as well because there's a lot of history, isn't there, about how, you know, the pipes were rented if people couldn't afford to buy them, and they just kind of snap off the ends and throw them away to rent them to the next person. So that bit of history to them I really like, which is why I collect the pipe stems as well. And then a few bowls, so a couple of the sort of corner pieces there, a broken bowl there. This one's really nice. This was the first one I picked up today actually. It's pretty complete. I think it's probably one of the most complete bowls I found actually, so I'm really pleased with that. This is always nice when it's still got that heel bit on, isn't it? Shame that it's broken on that side. This one's a bit thicker and a bit sort of, it feels a bit more crude actually, so yeah, a bit different again. Another broken bit there. And the same with this one. This is not sort of, doesn't feel quite as sort of smooth. I don't know if that means it's sort of older or made of something different perhaps. And then this one, which I showed you, I'm not sure if you can see there the symbol on it. Still trying to identify it. It feels familiar to me, but I can't quite work it out. But I will try and have a look, and if I can identify it, I'll let you know. But if you recognise it, please do let me know. And then finally, our little buckle here that we found. Again, another really sweet thing to find, and I do enjoy those. So all in all, it's been a pretty good adventure today. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope you have too. Do leave me some comments, let me know what you thought, and catch me next time. See you, bye!